So, today's session we are going to understand types of scratch analysis. Okay. So, as we know that in our SAP system, as we log in the system, so, when you go to Motor Master for any motor, they are having this different types of scratch available. So, if you go to NRP, you can see it's in this scratch. Okay. Then if you go to NRP, you can see it. Components scratch. Okay. The components scratch and assembly scratch is available in the master. Now let us understand what is this and what is their impact on your from even in your architecture. So let us understand what is the component scratch, assembly scratch, and artificial scratch. Okay. Let us start with the assembly scratch. What is the assembly scratch? Assembly scratch means what? During your production, there will be some losses, always due to the various reasons, and due to this, we will get the less output than the planned one. Okay, so assembly step increase the order quantity of the header method and subsequently increase the quantity of the corresponding component. The dependent requirement of the material components are therefore increased correspondingly. Okay. So in MRP1, you have to maintain the assembly spread percentage. Okay. So now what it means that your header material is like that. Whenever you are trying to manufacture header material, okay, it is about to get some reduction. Okay. For example, have you seen how this bread is manufacturing of bread? Okay, if you go to somewhere, now you can see this is the bread, okay, actually. But what happens when people are going to give you the bread in a packet, okay? At that time they have to make a slice. Okay. Now when they are doing slicing operation or something like that, the bread is going to be get spill out. Okay, the quantity while doing the cutting or something, it will get spill out. Okay, and some of the portions, the end, these two rear ends are going to be cut, and it means that the manufacturing process is like that. When you put it in oven, okay, the duct of this bread, okay, whatever the duct we are putting into oven, it is going to be get heated, and after fermentation, it will look like this. After heating, it will look like this. But this shape is not be accepted by the end users. People would like to have bread in this kind of slices or something, right? You can see the shapes are like this. So the cutting last operation, okay? Or in that operation, you can see it is going to be have a different shape. Okay, on because of this, you mean that if you want to actually manufacture 1 kg of bread, you have to start with 1.10 gram of dough. Okay, the quantity of this is going to be more, and output is going to be less because there is a expected scrap. Okay, so the 100% scrap is going to happen. Okay, which is going to make the process like this. See, these are the bread slice. Okay, bread uh, blocks are there, which are getting cutted into the pieces later on. Okay, I hope you understand. The initial process of this dough, the quantity is more, but the output is less. Okay, okay. That is called as an assembly scrap. For example, one more example, suppose you want to produce a quantity of 100 kg, you may get around 199, 99.9, 99.5 kg as the final output or yield. Now, to get the actual quantity, we have to increase the planned quantity or percentage so that you will get the as per the expectation. So for this, we should have another model created for us. Okay. So we can have go with Moto GB7 another material. Okay, let's see some other material. Okay, this is cold coffee. Okay, this is as an example. Okay. 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 Rose and Liverpool. Okay. And take tea as an example. And here in assembly step, I will start at a percentage thing. Now, what I'm trying to say, whenever I want to make a two cup of tea, okay, so my ingredients are going to be like that. My raw material and content should be uh, 2 cups of milk or and half cup of water. So I'm taking almost 2.5 liters of liquid, and out of that I'm going to get only uh, 2 cup of milk. Sorry, um, tea. Why it is? Because I'm going to process manufacturing process is like that. Whenever I'm doing the boiling operation or something like that, my tea quantity is going to get reduced, and I will get output like this. So there is always some kind of plan. Or suppose imagine whenever you are doing the pouring operation, you are pouring your tea into some kettle and from kettle to cup. Okay, at that time there is a leakage or spill out will be happen. Okay, so that is something different. Okay, that is not a part of your business. But boiling is the process. Okay, which will be the vaporization happens and your tea quantity is going to get reduced. So in such a case, what we have to do? We have to use the assembly step. So now this is my tea bomb. Okay, it is header material for which now I will try to create a production order. Okay, I think we are having bomb for this specific. Okay. Yeah, we have bomb. Let me see. We do now in the production order. Yeah, I think production order is also active. So let us create a production order expansion. Zero, zero, one. Okay. Now go for P, zero, zero, one. And for external implementation. Suppose now here if I produce, I can go for I want to make 100 cups. Okay. Then as per scrap percentage, scrap portion is 10. So what happened? My 100 quantity become 110. Did you see this? Naveen? So
Yes.
you know
Yes.
that there is always 10% assembly scrap. You cannot avoid this. You cannot avoid. It is not a scrap like that. You are manufacturing it. Suppose now take example of Motorola mobile. Okay. Now in case of mobile or something is what? You know that you will manufacture 100 pieces. You will manufacture 100 pieces. Once you manufacture it and while handling or while testing or while something, some scrap will generate. What is that? That is process related scrap, which is not because of your process is damaged, because some material was having some issue, which is not expected every time. Okay, those are not inherent. Okay, those are not natural. Okay, this has happened because of some XYZ reason. Okay, very uncommon reason. But this is what T is that here the process is like that. Whenever you go in for this process of manufacturing, you have to take a raw material in the extra quantity so that you will get ultimately whatever number of cups you would like to have. So you should manufacture to start to 110 kg, 110 cups of tea, then 100% 10 cup of tea will get vanished because it will get vaporized and you will ultimately get 100 cup what is your expected earlier expectation. Okay, clear? So this is called as
Yes.
assembly scrap. Okay. Now next is component scrap. Now what is a component scrap? Component scrap is sometimes what happens. Particular components always consume more during the production process than the planned component scrap, and it applies to the one component. Okay. Component scrap will increase the dependent requirement quantity of that component. Now component scrap is what if you see in your model master again. Now let us get out of this slash and then we'll do. Okay, I will go to team. Now let us go for bomb of history. If we go to the full of method, now you know that we have this water is there, okay? And we have milk, we have tea powder, and we have sugar. Now, if you check this material, so you know that this material is always going to have what do you say? Um, Consumption is going to happen. Okay, so and there is this material. So this is water, okay? And then for a material, here is your consumption. Now you know that every time boiling will happen and the water content is going to be reduced. So you can apply the percentage over here, 10% or something. Okay. And because of this, what happened? I see what is your bomb? Your bomb the quantity is suppose I want to manufacture 10, 10 cup of tea. Okay. If I want to manufacture 10 cup of tea, expected quantity of water is 1 liter. Okay. Here. But we have applied the now we say them understood what हमने check कर Now if you see when I create a production order slash n001, okay, so this team okay, that is 100 quantity. Okay. Now if I go to the form component, okay, you can see water quantity become 11 instead of 10. If you see in a bill of material bomb, okay. Production order 100 quantity, sorry. Okay. Component become 11 liter. Now, if you see in the bomb also, if you say I would like to create a bomb for 100 cup of tea, then it should be 10 liters as per bomb. But when actually you are going to do assembly or you are going to manufacturing, the component scrap percentage you can see over here, it's become 11. Why? Because you are saying my water is the product is always going to be have more consumption. Okay. And how much percent? 10% it is going to consume. It is going to vaporize. Okay. The 11 लीटर वाटर लोगे उसको इसमें से 1 लीटर वाटर आपका वेपराइज हो जाएगा. Here, so this is called as a component scrap. So component scrap is the thing which is going to happen only for one component, particular component from your bill of material, and only its quantity is going to increase. Okay. Naveen, clear now?
Okay. Yes.
But now issue is that we are not focusing on we should not update this in our bill of material. Sorry, in a material master. We should update this in our bill of material. Can you tell me the reason?
It will applicable for only
Particular
this material,
perfect.
but particular bomb.
Now this distilled water may be used in cold coffee manufacturing also. Okay. Or
Yes.
cold tea manufacturing also. In that case, there is no vaporization process. In that case, the losses will not be the accurate. Okay. So what is expected? In that case, we should update the consumption here. If you go to your bomb slash NCO03. Okay. So here you should go to your component master. Okay. And here component scrap you should update 10%, not into bill of material. Okay. So updating bill of material is okay, but in such a case when you know that this metal is used in whichever bomb, everywhere it is having a scrap. So in those kind of things, cases, you should go for it. But now in this case, you can see it is only used for what is it? For tea manufacturing only, and in that you should update in a bomb. So that is the meaning of this bill of component scrap into your recipe. Okay. And now last is the operation scrap. Now operation scrap is what? Operation is a scrap is mean that it's a particular operation only in which the what is it? Reduction of the quantity of metal is going to happen, and because of that, final quantity of the product, the next component, the next operation quantity is going to be reduced. Okay, and in that case, we should update this in a routing. Okay, so here you can see the operation scrap. Now operation scrap is what? Operation is a scrap is mean that it's a particular operation only in which the reduction of the quantity of metal is going to happen, and because of that, final quantity of the product, the next component, the next operation quantity is going to be reduced. Okay, and in that case, we should update this in a routing. Okay, तो ये जो ऑपरेशन, दिस ऑपरेशन wherever we are going to do this uh, maintenance of this sorry, whatever the operation is there. Now, in case of team management, let me go back here. Let me remove this. Okay. Let me go here. Again, let me remove this for a minute because now we are talking about boiling operation. Okay. Okay. That. Let me go to maintenance. Water. Let me remove it from everywhere. Okay, so that next example we can understand. And this is okay. Now let me go to the operation slash n 803. Okay, let me go to routing for this T. We are routing now. The first operation is boiling. Next operation is pouring, and then is the inspection. Now, what I'm saying in my boiling operation, there is going to be 10% reduction because boiling is the process where milk and water. Uh, just a minute. Uh, just a minute. Let me take filling. Okay, operation. Milk, water, sugar, and milk, and tea powder. So again, this is my filling water is my first filling or mixing water in a pot. Okay, this is my first activity. Okay, then second activity is boiling, then pouring and inspection. Okay, now let me save this. Okay, suppose now I want to create a tea. Okay, okay, so 0 0 into the keyboard. You know that I'm already in keyboard. Okay. Now I'm going to create a bomb. Sorry, production order for 100 liter of tea. Okay, in that case, what happened? Now I uploaded this data. Now let me go to my operations. Yeah, if I go to operations, okay, how it is showing for the operation. Entry P 1000 TB does not exist in NK except entry. Yes, sir. Last time also I guess we should mention that. I don't know why it is not showing it. Just a moment. Now, group is great. Now, if you go to operations, you can see quantity, operation quantity is 100, 100, and then pouring is the operation. Here it is coming 90, 90. Why? So if you go to your routing, okay, if you go to your routing, operations, if you click on this routing pouring operation, it is mentioned in this pouring operation that there is a scrap. For example, this operation, boiling operation, we should add the 10%. We already have we are having 10% scrap included in boiling operation. Okay. Yeah, so boiling operation, we have already uploaded the quantity reduction. So that is what happened. Boiling करते we are having 100 quantity, right? But in the next stage, pouring के लिए only we return 90 cup of tea is available. Why? Because this operation number boiling is having the scrap updated. Okay, assembly scrap is mentioned over there. It means that up till this percentage, you are having 10 cup of water and every mixture is there. But after boiling, it will get reduced to 90 quantity. So it will mean that this particular operation during the production process, after a particular operation, you may get some losses. Now you can need to adjust quantity, standard value. Okay, so you can enter the scrap into the routing and the BOM, either in routing or in BOM, but it is expected to update in a routing only, operation scrap. In BOM also you can update your route quantity, but you should, it is better that you should update your operation scrap in your specifically in your routing. Yeah. Right.
Okay, sir.
So this is all about your types of scrap in SAP. So you always get an interview question: what is the types of scrap? What is assembly scrap? What is component scrap? And what is operation scrap? So component scrap is very important. You should always maintain in a BOM. Operation scrap you should maintain in routing, and assembly scrap you can maintain in your particular metal master. Because it is finished good level, okay, FG level. The assembly scrap you can maintain in your metal master.
Okay, sir.